Well, hello and welcome to me and my shadow. How's everybody doing today? I hope well. This next little video is going to be, I guess, kind of what I'm calling maybe a safety series or maybe beginner rider series to kind of show you guys some, I don't know, tricks of the trade, try to pass along some of the things that I've learned in my time riding. And today is going to be emergency stopping, which I don't claim to be any expert at all. If you want to watch some experts, there are definitely experts out there on YouTube, but this is just how I do it. This is just, I think it's good practice to definitely do slow speed maneuvers and also practice emergency braking, because you never know. You never know. Enjoy the video. Guys, on this one I claim to be no expert, but it's considered, to me anyway, one of the more important techniques that you can learn. And this is also probably a skill that if you don't get out and practice enough of, you're going to end up losing it. And what it is it's emergency stopping. So let's say that you are, I don't know, you are on a busy intersection and a car decides to blow through that intersection. How are you going to stop? And how are you going to stop correctly without dumping your bike over? It's important, and it's an important safety skill to learn. The first thing, your first reaction is, oh shit, there's a kid there. You want to grab the brakes, you want to hit the brakes as hard as you can. That's an instinct that we want to avoid if possible, and to overcome that natural instinct of just wanting to slam on the brakes real hard, in my opinion, you have to keep practicing this over and over and over again to make sure that you're doing it right. So, talking about a little bit of physics with the bike, you have your back brake down here and your front brake right here. So, when you go to do an emergency stop, when you're practicing this, you want to set up a certain amount of space and like make a marker, like one of these parking lot signs. Get yourself something, a leaf, a rock, whatever, that you can set out as a point of knowing that you're going to stop, and pretend that's the intersection that you want to stop before. When you're applying your brakes in a situation like that, you want to remember to not grab real hard. You always want to remember slow and smooth. Squeeze the brake, okay? Don't jerk it, especially the front brake, because if your wheel is canted even slightly and you jerk that front brake, you're gonna end up on the ground. And also you want to apply your back pressure, your back brake pressure as well, as evenly as you can. But as you apply more front brake, you want to ease up on the back brake, because what's going on is you're stepping on that back brake, which is transferring all the frame momentum forward, and then you're applying that front brake at the same time. So you want to ease off and let that front brake do most of the work. Let me demonstrate. And guys, I am no expert by any way, shape, or form on this at all. I don't consider myself an expert, but I consider this to be a very important maneuver to try to learn to get into. Let's say that right there is my stopping line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, and when you're first starting to practice this, guys, take it slow. Don't try to do 40 miles an hour. Don't try to even do 20 miles an hour. Get used to the technique first. And also, if you have ABS brakes are great, and they will stop your brakes from locking up, but you also want to develop your skill level for those especially that don't have ABS. So some of the guys I watch, MC Rider and Moto Jitsu, they recommend actually disengaging your ABS brakes to build your technique. Once you get your technique down, then you can go ahead and have your ABS on. ABS are good. I'm not bad-mouthing them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that a lot of bikes don't have ABS, and you don't want to rely on the technology of ABS. You want to make sure that you have your own technique down first, and then go ahead and have the ABS. So we'll say over here by where my daughter's standing, this line right here, is going to be my stopping point. So I'm going to go ahead and go around, keeping it in first gear. And guys, again, by no way, shape, or form am I any kind of an expert on this whatsoever. I just want to show you what the technique is, and then obviously those guys that know what they're doing and actually get paid to do these things, they're the real experts. But I thought I might show you what I do to practice anyway, to see if it might give you help. So again, front brake, rear brake. You're going to apply rear and front, and instead of grabbing it, you're going to do 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, or 10%, 20%, 30%, 100%. You know what I mean? You want to just squeeze that in. If you can see, you want to squeeze that brake in. You do not want a situation where you're jerking that brake. Also, try to keep your handlebars level and even as you possibly can. Don't have them canted in a turn or something like this. Just go straight on for it. So let's give it a shot. We'll try about maybe 10 miles an hour, 5-10 miles an hour, and see how quickly we can get stopped. Here we go. Right down about 10. And someone pull out. See how quickly that stopped? And I applied both my front brake and my rear brake at the same time, squeezing in on this brake, and at the same time releasing pressure on the back brake. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's almost a little bit unnatural for your body to do, one motion like this and the other motion with lifting your foot up off that brake. So it takes some practice, and I'm not saying that any of the other slow speed skill practices are bad in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is this is a really good, important one to learn and really have it honed in as best as you can, because we know in a lot of situations most of these cars are not watching what they're doing. And they may try to, you may be going through an intersection, you may have the right of way, but they may also be trying at this time to beat the light or not paying attention, maybe on their phone or whatever. And you look and you see also that that car's coming through and he ain't stopping. So your only choice is to stop. If all you do is apply front brake, you have a good chance of bringing the bike up and over and tipping it. If all you do is apply back brake, you're going to skid, and you'll stop, but it's going to take longer to stop. So it's a combination of both. Another important rule is don't be looking down at your front tire. Don't be looking down at the road. Try to keep your head up while you're doing the stop. Don't look down until it's over. So here we go again. When we're driving, car pulls out. See how quickly that stopped? Evenly stopped. I stopped well before that line. This time I got up to about 15 miles an hour. And this is how you want to do it. You just want to keep getting yourself to go a little bit faster. Not each time, but as you get better and better at the braking technique itself, you want to increase your speeds up. And be careful with this, guys. Make sure that the parking lot you're in is free of gravel. It doesn't have a lot of potholes. There's not a lot of oil streaks or anything like that. Make sure that the parking lot itself is as clean as possible, a clean surface for you. Because the last thing you want to do is go down while you're just practicing this stuff. But if you do go down, at least you're in a parking lot and you're not out on a major street, and you're not going down underneath a speeding car, right? So here we go again. I'm going to try a little faster this time. Go up to 20. And just like that, we stopped. And again, I'm not grabbing that brake and jerking on the brake. I'm not slamming on the brake down here. All I'm doing is squeezing slowly. And it's kind of hard for me to show you on the camera, but I'm also letting off on the back brake as I apply more front brake. So we'll do this one more time here. And guys, practice this as much as you want. I find it important just to go ahead and find a parking lot, and practice these skills. Notice when I stop too that my left leg's down and my right leg is up. I hardly ever, or I try to never put my right leg down. I always try to keep my right leg up on the brake, my bike in gear, in case Joe Schmo comes flying up behind me. I see him coming and I need to get out of the way real fast. I can do that. If I'm sitting here in neutral with both my feet down and I notice that my reaction time is going to be a little bit slower. So just a little side note on that. And again, guys, I'm no expert. I'm just trying to show you how I do it and what I'm practicing. Go to Moto Jitsu, go to MC Rider. They have forums. They also have safety and well, not safety, but they have actual drills that you can go through to get yourself better and better. But if you don't want to take the time to do that and you just want to know what emergency braking is all about, that's what this is all about. So where my daughter is standing down there is going to be the intersection. We're going to pretend that we're just cruising along. This time we're going to do 20 miles an hour. I'm going to back up enough that I can get up to speed. Keeping my head up, I'm going to squeeze again on the front and apply the back. As I apply more front brake, I'm going to let up on the back brake. Here we go again. Cruising and oh, there's a car. That front brake has a ton of stopping power. It has a lot of ability to stop the bike. It has a lot of power behind it, more than the back brake does. But the more, guys, that you practice this, the less your instant reaction is going to be to just grab and panic and grab the brake and slam on the rear brake. That's a recipe for disaster. That's something that's going to end up with you on the ground or underneath a car. So again, guys, just kind of making a helpful tip. Again, I'm no expert. I'm just your average weekend warrior rider like the rest of us, or like most of us are. I'm no trained expert in any way, shape, or form. So that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll go ahead and throw it up for your viewing displeasure. Thank you guys very much for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to me and my shadow, feel free to. And guys, always ride safe and remember that it's not a matter really what you ride. What matters is that you ride. I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here and do some riding. It's a beautiful day. Y'all take care. And we'll see you again real soon.